Okay, so this is the next part of the Relearning Myself video that I did. That was like more of an intro, but I guess it'll just be continued here. As far as like the journey is ... which is what I have on my like the page channel thing. So last time I was talking about how I'm like, okay, the transition that I'm been moving through, and how I often find myself like, I don't know, maybe confused or stuck, like those feelings or emotions will come up. I mean, which really just means that there are things I need to let go of in some way, and I'm trying to figure out what they are, because I often like find that I don't have or haven't had, I guess, compassion with myself and with others as much as I need to. But what relearning myself means and like why that even came up for me is because I was talking to someone new that I didn't really know, and then I was asked like things about myself, and I'm like, oh, interesting. I have an idea of like who I am, what I like, and stuff like that. But there's also a part of me that's like releasing a huge pain body and moving through that. It's been going on for obviously my whole life, but like, because like being, born with our pain bodies, but like over a year. But really just the past handful of months that I was like 1000% aware of some things. And then I was like, okay, I need to like kind of dial back and learn more grounding, because I'm big on somatic release. That's like huge for me in grounding myself, so that when I do feel all the sensations that are coming up, I can somatic release no matter where I'm at, no matter who I'm with, which takes time, because growing up I was very I held everything in. And yeah, I think that when I pondered kind of on myself, and I'm like, I have some things that I don't know about myself anymore, and I have to relearn them, because it's like I'm very inquisitive, but I'm also very emotional, so that like I don't want to be swayed by like others, which is interesting, or influence really. So if I'm inspired to do something or to learn something, I want it to be from within my spirits and in my body and my heart, and not like a thought and an idea somewhere that I picked up from someone or whatever. So, and I'm being patient with myself in that. And that's kind of where the relearning myself journeys come about, is like exploring the human aspect of myself, and not just diving deep into the spiritual aspects and then keeping them separate, and then not knowing how to function in society, because which there's like a backstory with that, but when you kind of let go of old parts of you and then new parts want to reemerge, there's a part of like the integration and embodiment of all aspects, and that's where I've been. So, which is like a constant thing, but you know, everybody isn't always aware, and if I'm not doing my best to be aware, I need to learn where I'm not so that I can be, which is easier said than done. But like, it's giving myself compassion and space, and that's why I'm creating this space for myself. So I also like to ramble. I also like to be random and I often can come off as like, I don't know, I wouldn't say like I guess random, but maybe not bizarre, just peculiar, enigmatic, very unique. That's how it's just this, yeah. And so even though like I have these like epiphanies or awarenesses or knowings and or wisdom that comes up, whatever, I have to embody certain aspects of it, and like that's like in my day-to-day life, in my like the consistent actions that I'm doing and or not doing, how I'm being and existing, like has to also be that. So as far as like logging in a visual aspect, stuff about myself, I feel like it's important to talk about like why on our awareness or awakening journeys we because I have this thing where like I'll create a spiritual ego, and it doesn't help. It has not helped, and I had to like ground into the fact that when I try things out, if I don't like them, I can adjust. But sometimes I'm like nervous to adjust or confused about the transition, which is where I'm at now, because I'm supposed to be like moving through things away from here, and like when we talk about like pain body and past traumas, karma, things like you inherit from your family or other lifetimes of your own, or that you create in this lifetime or on the different timelines, whatever, that's a whole different thing. But there's a point I think I've seen this in over the years in many different journeys. Obviously people go through like this very unknown space in life, and I was like that. So that's why relearning myself is important, because if I just like can ground into safety in the body, which is the most important, because that's how I'm able to somatic release. If I don't feel safe, and then I'm just gonna like dissociate and not be present, And I can go into a whole spiel about my day-to-day life on that, because it's been some years I write a lot in my poetry about that, because sometimes just writing, like, I love it, so it helps me to not feel so cluttered in the mind sometimes.